Now, today we will discuss about Mule data wave language. Before we start, do some hands-on, right? First, discuss the more details on theoretical part. What is a data wave, right? View, it is a part of a MuleSoft only. It is an expression language introduced by the MuleSoft company only, right? It is used to write syntaxes to translate the languages. It is a programming language designed by the MuleSoft development. Why it is required? As we see in that in Mule flows, the data is transferring from one component to another component, right? Which means we are accessing the data from one component and to another component. But when you do that things, right, it is not always expected what output is coming from one component. The same format, it is not required to send. It is not mandatory. It is not the case to send the same format to the next level of component or next flow also, right? Which means we are accessing the while accessing the data and transform the, it will help us to access the data and transform the data, right, that is traveling across the Mule applications. As we've seen thus in the previous videos, if the database query is execute select statements, let example, that select statement is returning the list of Java objects, right? That if you want to pass something to a JMS or something somewhere, right, to insert that record into some Excel file or CSV file, you cannot directly just cannot insert that one, right? First you have to convert to transform your format. So what is the step? What is the next action you are going to perform? You are going to write that into Excel file, CSV file, or no matter. According to that, you have to transform that. So that will help us. This Mule software designed a Mule data wave language. So these all this it's a Mule runtime engine which will incorporate this data wave in several components, like as we discussed that transform and set payload is another component, that where this set payload is here. Say this set payload. So this is also you help us to set the payload, but it's not a large amount of text. You see this, the transform that set the payload with the provided value. We cannot put large amount of text like this payload how we are sending, but limited text that. So this is also similar to our transformer says it holds the payload, right? That's what saying that used to like to accept the payload. So this data transformer will help us to transform, right, from one format to another format very easily. You don't need to write any bulk code. Right? Simple lines of code, simple changes, what you are trying to do. As you see in the previous example, right? As okay, after executing this select statement, we are trying to change. We are transforming to our understandable format. What it is saying here, this select statement is returning and the output is the list of Java object, but you cannot understand. I cannot understand Java, but I can understand the JSON format. So for that, what is the minimum changes I did? I just say change application slash JSON. This is already there. I just instead of Java, by default it is there. Instead that I put JSON. So this will expression, because we could see there's a DWD 2.0. What it is saying, data wave, and version is this one. So with this minimum change, minor change, you can convert your or can translate your languages. Okay. Basically this divided into three parts, three sections. What is this called as a header and the body and the separator? What does it say? The header define the directories of that. See here you can have a directories here. Right now we don't have this directories. In future, if you want to import a functions, if you want to import built-in functions or user defined functions, we'll have this headers here. That is before output application slash JSON. And the next part is that the body contains the expression that need to return. Now here this is the body, this contains some expression. So here we just returning the payload as is what it is sending, but we can still customize this one, this payload, by using the different options available with us that MuleSoft data web is providing, like map object, right? So on that we discuss during hands-on. So the header is located, where is that? Above the body delimiter. So this is called a body header, and delimiter is the above this hyphen, so which consists of 3 dashes, right? This anything, right? All this below hyphen 3 dashes is the body part, and this is the header part. Okay, and imports will be the as a part of header. So this is all about the format of data wave expression, and we have the option to see the preview also. So what you want to preview, then what payload is here, you can directly preview it here. For this you no need to run the application. Here you don't see the preview because this payload is the output of execution of this previous component. Here you don't have any data to preview that one. If you want to preview, you have to give the static data here to preview that. Okay, that we will see step by step. Okay, how this preview help us, right? Basically, why we need this preview, right? If you want to see the data that you are providing the expression, what expression you are giving, how you are expecting to transform or translate this data to other format, is that going right syntax? If any syntax errors, everything you can see before you start the server, before you run the application. During running the application, right, it is difficult to debug such issues, where it is going wrong and what went wrong, how to troubleshoot that. So this preview help you to save your time. Okay, you save your effort, and you can easily pin out the syntax issues before you run the application. Actually, make sure this one thing you check. There is a tooling instance that is running as a part of Anypoint Studio. So this is available here. If you go to Windows, as told you previous sessions, and if you're not able to find this is here, right? See, there is Anypoint Studio. If still not able to see here, you can type directly that option. Under the Anypoint Studio, you could see this, there is a tooling option is there. Here, check the status. Studios are running or not. Sometimes it says that studio services are not running. That time you just restart. Click on the restart studio services. It just take a couple of seconds. Then apply and close. And if you are not able to find something, it is something your system is stuck, or due to some reason you are not able to see this, right, by shortcut or just type tooling, then you could see this one. Just select this tooling. Okay, how it comes. Okay, see here, you see the difference screen now. Type tooling, select this one. You could directly navigate to that one and check this status are running or not. Then restart it and apply and close. Then you go for the data wave expressions. Otherwise it says studio services are not running, then it will not parse your data, so that you get the errors. Okay, next jump into the next thing. First, before we write the Mule data wave expressions, first we have to understand the between the array and objects. As we have already discussed previously, how you identify the input is a array or object. As we already seen this in the previous couple of sessions also, right? How you identify this object and array, right? We see this. Anything object, what is an object? Object is always starts with open and close curly braces. It is always within the curly braces. Anything of data like this, you have any data like this, right? And it can be a JSON. For example, if you are working with a JSON object, it is a key value pair, something key value, and say again key value, right? So on, so on. So anything that is within the curly braces, we call it as an object, or an object is nothing but which is embedded in the curly braces. So this how we can identify this is an object. What is an array? In Java also we know that. What is array? Array is the list of values. How these values will be comma separated. Yeah. Array is the square brackets, right? How the values will be stored? With it's a list of values with the comma separated, like text A comma B comma C comma D comma E comma so on, right? This is the list of values like this. So this is how you identify. This is array and this is the object. Now let's see that sample examples. Now see, as I told, the object always enclosed with curly braces and contain key value pair. Let's say an example, like say key value. See, as it is starting with the curly brace and closed with the curly braces, and it starts with the name, right? name is the key and value is this one. And next example, you see this, you have a comma separated, but this is not a array type, but object contain multiple values, right? That can be comma separated with, but that each is key value pair. So this, right? And you could see this, this is an object, but see, this is not a key value pair. So this is not a valid object. It does not contain key value pair format. So this is wrong. So this is how you can identify and understand the object. What is the next thing? Next thing is this array. What is an array? I told you, right? Always enclosed within the square brackets and contains only values, right? How it looks, let's say this one. So value 1, value, comma, value 2. So this is how it looks, right? Now you could see this one. This is the object, right? Inside object, you can have an array, right? No matter that. But according to the array, according to the syntax, it has to match. As you can see in the first scenario, it is straightforward. Array, start with the square bracket, end with the square bracket, and two values are clearly separated with the commas. Okay. Now, what is the next? The second step, second scenario, you see this object. Object, how is the object? It's with the enclosed in the curly braces. Okay, that is match. And it should be key value pair. This is key. This entire name is the key, and this is entire array is the value. So this satisfy object. That we are discussing. We are talking about array. Array is the comma values, right? So this is also array, right? So this is also correct, right? Understood? I'm right or not? Anusha, Sirisha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You see this? No confusion. Anything that is within the square bracket is called array
Yes, sir.
with comma.
Understand.
Yeah. Now you see the last case, this
Right.
last one,
Right.
name.
Yes.
It is enclosed with the square
That
bracket, but it
also
is not comma
array
separated. This is not,
separate.
this is not a
Comma
valid
separate.
array. Okay. Next jump. Okay. Now we understood what is the difference between the object and array, how to identify the object and how to identify array. Okay, now you can see this, how this data web will help us. In this world, there are different connectors are there available for us, as we see in transform connector, set, payload, variable, etc. Right? All with the help of these connectors, we can convert, we can transform from one format to another format. Let's see the examples of formats. So you can have a number of formats. So these are the examples that we are looking at the screen. If you have a JSON, the output is JSON, and if you want to convert to XML, so you can convert from JSON to XML. And if the output is Java, and if you want to read that to JSON, then convert from Java to JSON. And if the output is XML, and if you want to convert to JSON, then you can convert to JSON from XML. And then if the object output is JSON, and if you want to convert to CSV, then you can say JSON to CSV and Java to CSV also, so on, so on. Any number of formats, it is according to your requirement. It is our wish how you can translate. Okay.
Microsoft Office like SLA part, dependency part, multi-general writer application, okay, high availability, disaster recovery, those things are common in everywhere. Okay, but structure because the
Now we see this, right? Along with the transformations, we also have map and object we are using in this data web expressions. Okay, 1 second. So during writing data web expressions, we also have to work on this map object. Both are part of this conversions. Right, to convert from one format to another format, these things are coming into picture. So what is a map and what is a map object? But to here, both are same. What is the difference? That map operator is a map also an object, right? Map is used to work on the arrays. You know that array is the list of values, right? You can have array of objects also, right? Let's see, thus array of objects can be like this, right? Now we have an array, right? In this array, you can have the list of objects also, right? Object one, right? Object one like this, comma, object two, comma, object three, right? Say array is the list of objects. This is how we can say. In this array, I have the objects of object one, object two, object three. And you know, object is key value pair. Like that's map always used to work on arrays. Always remember this step. Map operator is used only on arrays. Map object is used for objects. What is object? It's only a specific object, right? It will map object works only on one objects, not a array. It will never deal with the arrays. Okay, always remember these two below points. You cannot use map operator for object. It is something reverse. You see, map operator is used on arrays, right? Now we are saying cannot. We cannot use map operator for objects. Again, same thing. We cannot use map objects for arrays. Means it is like do not, like that. Now, then there is one more thing, syntax. It's called, it's a dollar symbol and double dollar. What it is mean that, say, during while working with the map operator, we can use this. How to use this one and what is the use of this is, if you use single dollar, it gives the value of that particular key or field. What is that particular key field, right? For example, now you have an object like this. Now, okay, let's go to the MuleSoft. Okay, here I don't have any examples. Let's see this 9. I have a key name, okay, and value is something, okay, some value is there. Now, if you want to get that particular key, right, you have to use the value, right? Gives the value of that. Say dollar dot name. I will say, then it will directly give the value of this. For example, a syntax dollar dot name. But what you will get, dollar dot name means then you will directly get the value of that particular field. Similarly, if you say dollar dot address, then you will get the value of the address field. So this is how we use this single dollar. For example, if you want to get the index, they use double dollar. So what is that index in the sense that, now let's assume if you have multiple objects, right? Object one, comma, object two. Now this is one object. This is one object, first one, and this is second object, and this is third object. So these have a indexes, right? So by default, it will automatically constructing the indexes inside. Means you see the array, it start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So to get that index, right, you have to use that dollar dollar. This dollar dollar means it says the index of that particular record. It is a first record, it gives 0. If it is second record, it gives 1. If it is third record, it gives 2, and so on like that. Okay, dollar, the one, if you use a single dollar, it gives the particular value for that field. It gives $2 gives the index of that field, means that where that record is stored, in which index that current record or particular record is stored. Okay, hope you understood. Let's go back here. See, these are all the most commonly used operator in our data wave language. What are these? A map object, reduce, plug, flat run. So this we have already discussed. This map is used, right, on arrays only, right? Output is again array. And map object is working only on objects. As I told you, right, it cannot work on arrays. It works on an object, but the output is object. You see, used for only an object. So this reduce and general English meaning. Reduce means to minimize things, right? It only works on the arrays. Means to minimize things means if you have a list of values, array of values, right, then it will reduce that number of lines to few lines. Means then it will eliminate a lot of code into simple format. Let's see during hands-on how this helps. It's simple, say, to reduce into given expressions into that simple format. Plug this also worked on objects, that can be applied on object, but the output is array. But it is same as map object, but the only difference here is the output is written as an array instead of object. It works, see, it takes the input as a object and produce the output as array. Okay, no confuse that. Okay, we will see these things clearly during hands-on, what it is and how it is working, where we can apply these things. And the last thing is flat run. What is this flat run? This flat run is the turns into sub arrays into a single array. So if we have multiple arrays, let's take array 1, array 2, array 3, as in the real-time scenario, so different APIs or different endpoints are returning the data with, right? This is one array, that is one array, that is another, or a list also. And it is expected to club, to merge all this output to single output. Then what you do? Then you will club all this. In general, if you use Java, say list, assume take a list, right? Say list, add all. List 1, add all, list 2, add all, list 3, like that. Then you are producing a consolidated list of objects. So to do that job in the Mule, we have flat run to merge, to club, to turns into a single array, to produce a single array with multiple sub arrays, array of objects. So that is called, we use this flat run. So hope you are clear with this. Any doubts in theoretical part? You clear? So that next
Sure.
we will see. Yeah. Now in the next session we will discuss about all this concepts and do a hands-on. As of now, we will end up the session here, and okay, we'll meet you in the next session. So